Let's talk money red flags, some patterns to leave behind as you go into the new year. My name is Gaby Rincon. I'm a money coach and financial strategist. I specialize in working with the first-gen BIPOC community and empowering them to live money stress-free. Welcome back to our big series for the month, Money Mirror, where we are looking back in order to leap forward. These are the kind of most common money red flags, or kind of like unhealthy financial behaviors that we have within our community or working with clients that I've noticed. So we've got impulse spending, right? Like, when do we spend money? Is it tied to emotional triggers? We kind of do it at night, for example, that instant kind of gratification that we're looking for, that maybe is like, oh my God, how much did I spend this week, this month, etc. Hands down, the number one goal that I see when clients first come to me with coaching, it's like, okay, I want to break the whole cycle of like living paycheck to paycheck. And it is such an important kind of pattern to break. We've got to make sure that our income and our expenses those are all aligned, right? Because if not, then absolutely we're going to be just getting paid, paying the bills, getting paid, paying the bills. How do we make sure that we have an emergency fund? Like, look and do an honest self-reflection. What are the areas that we can tweak in order to best align your income, your expenses, your values, your goal? People don't have a regular practice of like monitoring, reviewing their credit score. Now, I'm not saying you have to be logging in every single day, every single week, but it's important to keep an eye on what your score and what your report is doing. Like, download your annual free credit report and make sure that there are no errors, because if there are, chances are that that's dinging you and that's bringing your credit score down. Please don't sleep on this one, tweaking this pattern. When people don't have clear financial goals, like SMART goals, right, when it comes to their money, then they're much less likely to actually achieve them, because it's like, I don't really know where my money should be going. So maybe somebody comes to me and they're like, I want to save. Save for what? Save how much? Like, again, we need to make sure that we are using the SMART goal framework in order to set clear financial goals, so we can work backwards and think, all right, in the monthly, it's this amount, in the bi-weekly, it's this amount, etc. Okay, I can literally talk about this for hours, but it is so important. Like, if you are going to tweak anything, please make it like leaving the pattern of ignoring your financial education. Let's actively seek out financial literacy so we understand what personal finance kind of is. What are these habits? What does it mean to have a 401k, for example? And many of us, especially in our community, don't have access to financial literacy, be it in school or at home. And so we kind of enter adulthood kind of like winging it. And so there's knowledge gaps. That's okay, but let's make sure that we're putting in the effort to fill them in so that we can really break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, or making sure that we have these clear financial goals, etc. I guess what I'm saying is that for the most part, financial literacy education has to be the first piece. We have to have the knowledge in order to be able to accurately identify where we can tweak our overall financial picture in order to achieve financial independence, financial empowerment. And our last big common pattern in our community, let's stop neglecting our debt. I know no one loves talking about debt. It can have a lot of emotional feelings, especially like if you got into debt for an emergency. So there's like some trauma associated with it. Completely understand. But if we don't actively look at our debt, actively come up with a payoff strategy, actively engage with that, then we're just kind of lugging this big debt cloud around, right? And finally, as you're identifying these kind of unhealthy money habits, these patterns that you want to leave behind, do so without enacting like judgment and shame, right? We still want to be approaching this from an overall growth perspective. We are identifying our areas of mistakes, our areas of growth, our target areas, in order to identify exactly that. Where are we going to be putting a lot of our intention, a lot of our focus? What area of our financial picture are we going to be targeting? Not, let me just go on this shame spiral. And as always, for an in-depth look at your financial picture and identifying goals and strategies that will completely transform your finances in 2025, book a consultation. I'd love to work with you.